Alright guys, so today, Matt's at work, I'm the only one here, and I'm in charge of this piece of shit. He told me not to make a video today, but I decided that I'm going to anyway, so I'm gonna go over what we did yesterday. Besides all the dicks on the car, we bondoed a lot of the dents. This is where these and this came from. We primered these just to make sure that the bare metal wasn't exposed with Bondo on it. But it's all gonna be sanded anyway, so it's not gonna stay primered like that or anything like that. So right now, I'm gonna try to move the car from there to here without having to put it on tow dollies because Matt has his boat right here. As you can see, there's no room right here to work over there. I wanna try to get this car over here somehow, some way. I've managed to do it with my car before with the turning radius of a Neon, so I'm pretty sure I could do it with a Honda. Alright, so now that I got the car over here, you can kind of see that Matt started a little bit on the passenger side. Now this Bondo is not sanded down, so it's not going to look that great right now. And you still feel the rough patches in between, all the dents and the roughness of the Bondo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys give you guys a little rundown on how exactly to do this because Matt really didn't. So what you're going to do is, you see Matt sanded down to bare metal in most spots. Now he did that because he found a dent in the area. So what he did was just kind of ran his hand across the whole body looking for any dents. Like for example on the roof there's a bunch of them. So if you find a dent, you sand it down to bare metal, you put the Bondo over it, let it dry, sand it down with various sandpapers, and then you can primer over it. So I'm going to show you what you guys need. Start off, we got our sandpaper. We have the 100 grit, 220 grit, 320 grit, and 400 grit. Now you're going to need all of these if you want your body to look perfect. So, and you're also gonna need some acetone for cleaning purposes and your Bondo. So we got the body filler, the hardener, and the glazing putty. Now what the glazing putty does is, we use it on these spots that we can't see anymore, but what it does is, for example, right here, we have a scratch on the Bondo. Now what it'll do is it'll fill the scratch and also little tiny air pockets and anything like that it'll cover and get rid of. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do all this right now. These spots were all rough and just put on, and I sanded them down, and I still feel right here there's a dent, and there's also still one right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add another layer of Bondo, and then we're going to let that dry and then sand it down again, and I'm going to show you guys that process. Alright, so first you take your Bondo, the body filler, mix this up just a little bit, and then just flip it out. This over here, you're gonna take your hardener. You're gonna have to knead it out just like this. Just kind of pinch it around, open up the cap, get it right there, put the cap back on just to let the air out of it. Knead it up a little bit more. Just put a quick little line of hardener. You don't need much, just a little bit. Take this, scoop it up, spread it around. Keep doing this until you get all that red out of there. You want it to be all one solid color. Put some pressure down. Make sure you're getting all the air pockets out. You don't want any air pockets in there. Okay, so now take this, press it over, flatten it out. Don't worry about all the other spots. You'll be able to sand it down later. And then press it down right here on your other spot. Get it nice and flat. Don't worry about all the bumps and all the irregular spots because you can just sand it down later anyway. Sand it down, get a good layer over it. Cover the whole spot. This way you make sure you're getting everything. And now, you wait for it to dry. So as we wait for the other side to dry, I'm going to show you the sanding procedure. So really rough right here, right here. What you're going to do is you're going to take your 100 grit sandpaper and just sand it down. Now this will take a few minutes, but what you're looking for is you're going to want to get rid of all these borders right here. Now what that means is you want to be able to run your finger across. You don't want to feel the lump or the bump, or this area right here where you can feel the Bondo grabbing. So just keep going like this. It'll take a few minutes, but after a few minutes you'll be able to not feel the border. You can also use the sanding block or any type of tool you have to hold the sandpaper. This way you're getting it all the way even around. This one's too short, so I'm gonna grab a new piece. It's definitely getting smoother, but I still feel the border right here, so I'm gonna keep sanding this. Now when you're sanding it, don't go in one direction all the time. Kind of change it up from X's to side to up and down. You don't want to keep going one way because then it could get wavy.
1 eternity later.
All right, so now we got it nice and smooth. No borders, no nothing. You don't really feel the transition between the body and the Bondo. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this part, and I'll show you the second part of sanding to show you guys what to do. So after you finish that, finish blending it, everything like that, you don't feel any more borders, no more bumps, no more dents. You're gonna take your 220 grit, sand it down. This is the point right now where you wanna get it nice and smooth. This way you don't feel the Bondo at all. Because right now I can still feel the smoothness of the body compared to the roughness of the Bondo. So that's what you're gonna do next. And then after your 220, you're gonna move up to your 320 and then your 400. And after that, you'll be all set. All right, now this is nice and smooth. I don't really feel the Bondo. And so I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this one, and then I will show you guys the glazing putty. Well, Matt's here now, and kind of skipped a part of the glazing putty, but right now he's mixing up some fiberglass because we are going to fill these holes where the Honda badge was, and then also we're gonna be doing the same thing to the hood where the Honda badge was and where the wiper nozzles for the washer fluid went. So Matt.
Yes.
Would you please explain what you're doing?
So right now we're taking fiberglass, which is the fiberglass Bondo, which is different than...
And you should be wearing gloves.
Should be. Kids, wear gloves, please. Basically, what it is it's thicker. You can see the kind of fiberglass hairs in there if it's focused. And then basically what you do is you go ahead, and obviously this is really messy. You literally just cover it like that so that it covers those holes. And obviously we're gonna do a few layers so that it doesn't look like that. And obviously when we sand it down, it's gonna look better. But I did try to do it with this regular Bondo, and it just didn't even cover the holes. This is more thick.
And then where I left off with the glazing putty, this is kind of too simple to put on camera, but all you do is you take that glazing putty that is right there and you put it on the spreader that he is using, and all you do, press it onto the Bondo, spread it over, let it dry, and sand. And that's all that it is to it. There's no prep work to it. All you gotta do is just clean it off, give it one good wipe with acetone on it, put it on there, let it dry, sand it, and then it's done.
So currently, we have the door off the car. This thing looks like, I don't even know what it looks like, but it looks ridiculous. So what we're gonna do is, since this panel is done with Bondo work, we're gonna go ahead and prep this door with sandpaper. We'll show you guys how to do that. I wouldn't take this as a tutorial video. So we gotta make sure that this is properly, you know, sanded down before we go ahead and paint it. So we need to take various sandpapers, sand it down, and then clean it off with acetone, and sand all this primer off that we did yesterday, because yesterday we did a lot of Bondo work. And then once it's done being sanded down, we're just gonna go ahead and spray it with primer. We're in the garage.
You can't hear you.
I don't need to be able to hear myself, okay?
We can't hear you.
So this is our paint sprayer that we got. We just have some regular white primer. So we're gonna go ahead and get this door painted, and then we're gonna see how it turns out. So currently the painting process is going pretty good, but we're not getting enough paint out of the gun, so we're gonna go pick up some paint thinner. And we're taking the Jeep and we're taking all the doors off, because you kind of have to ride with the Jeep with the doors and the top off. And the process of taking this door off is fantastic. Are we gonna give it one last hurrah?
1, 2, 3, Multiflossen!
No! Hey. Put your face by my butt.
No.
Oh, shit. You might have shit yourself. Okay.
Fuck, it's coming, I see it! Freaking Randall! Shit! It's fight tonight!
So if anyone wants any Jeep body panels or whatever, they're in my front yard. I may or may not make a video within the next few days on how the bodywork's going, but for now, that's all we got. I really appreciate you guys watching. Wow. Really? Really? As I'm about to end the video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video today, guys. I'll see you in the next one. See you later.